This episode on the Mesh.tv is sponsored by The Sock Factory, making quality socks in North Carolina since 1975. Producers of Crazy Compression, William Tucker, and Fit Sock, The Sock Factory has something for everyone. Find out more at thesockfactory.com.
What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year. It is the January, today's the 10th?
Yep.
10th,
All day.
yes. 11th, is it?
All day.
You were wrong. Is it?
I was
It's
just trying to
January
support
11th.
you.
There you go.
I just noticed because it's Big Dave Moose's birthday today.
Your
Shout out.
dad's.
Yep.
I was about to say, it's not your birthday.
No, it's not my birthday.
Okay. It is January 11th, 2018.
Yes.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year to you.
Thanks.
New me, new you, new year.
Same me.
Same you?
Yep.
Same you.
Okay. So you are listening to Street Circle Drive here on the Mesh. We appreciate you coming back. Hopefully you're coming back and not turning it off after the beginning of every episode, but that's fine. That's fine. You can find us on...
That was a good sell.
I know, right? I mean, I'm such a good business development person. You can find us on iTunes, on the Mesh website, which is themesh.tv, and we're all over social media as well. So, guys, we have a lot to catch up on.
A lot.
Lots of stuff been going on. We did want to quickly touch on one of Moose's favorite topics, lists that the Hickory
Lists.
Metro appear on.
Looking up, Hickory.
Yeah, and this one I think is legit. This one's like not
Not the top.
a clickbait.
No,
I mean, I
not
guess that's
clickbait.
the way to describe it, right? But Hickory has appeared on the largest gainer, not to be confused with the splash you make in the pool, right?
No, or Biggest
Or.
Loser. It's the opposite of Biggest Loser. Gainer.
Economically is what we're talking about here, right? Yeah. This was posted in USA Today, and we are third as a community. Hickory, North Carolina is listed on there, and it says that this is mainly in part to the furniture in the past, furniture and textile, and now based on Apple and Google
Cloud services, tech.
and retirees.
Yeah. Which is great,
I mean, we'll take them.
right?
Who knew that Hickory was such a great place to retire to?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did?
This region
Yeah.
does gangbusters because they're right there between Raleigh, Asheville, Charlotte,
Yeah.
where
Easy
maybe some of
access
the
and a
younger
little lower
kids
key.
go to, a little lower key, a little better cost of living. But, and the other thing I always say, I mean, yes, there's been transition from the peak of furniture and all those things, but it is still alive and well. So that's still maintaining and growing.
Yeah. And we are third behind Palm Bay, Melbourne, Florida, and Olympia, Washington. So
For our size, right? When it's
yes,
Chopped up
there
by
is
size of the metro.
this is like there's a larger category that Raleigh is actually in. And that's the best performing large metro areas. Okay. And that's led by Provo, Utah, and Raleigh is second, followed by Dallas, Texas.
not Dallas, North Carolina.
Not Dallas, North
Big
Carolina.
D, not little D.
That's right. That's right. Little D. So that's bravo for Hickory. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
like I said, Andrew loves the clickbait and loves these lists that we get put on.
Yeah,
and this one's actually cool.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the last episode we talked about Hickory being
Tinseltown.
only, third. What was it? Number one.
Number one, Tinseltown.
Number one Tinseltown in America. And, I'm just so happy that Hickory doesn't get drug across the internet on some of those awful lists. So that's good, Hickory. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
For
so
sure.
moving more into our topic, this was a segue. If you guys didn't pick up on that, there was a segue there. We're gaining biggest gainer, and partly I'm imagining is due to some visitors, tourism, people in the area, which brings us to our special guest for the day, which is going to cover two of our standard format here. We usually do a topic, then tell you some events, and then we do a restaurant review. We're going to combine the first two because that is what this fine lady does.
Absolutely.
Yep. So take it away, McNally.
Well, we are privileged to have in our midst the Mandy Pitts Hildebrand. So now I had to look at her card because if you've been in Hickory for more than a minute, it is hard to remember Mandy Pitts Hildebrand because Mandy Pitts is a mainstay in this community for a long time.
Mandy Pitts forever in my heart.
And maybe we could
no
just combine the first two. Now you just have one really long first name. Hyphenate that. But Mandy is the Chief Executive Officer for the Hickory Metro Convention Center and Visitors Bureau. It's a mouthful, but they do a lot of work over there. And so, Mandy, we want to thank you for being here. Mandy, long-time Hickory resident.
Yay, Mandy.
She loves her Hickory. She's worked at the city, so is a perfect guest to have here today, I think, to kick off the new year, to talk a lot about things that are going on. You know, we just talked about lists that Hickory's been at the top of, and you've been the center of a lot of the work that has helped to elevate the profile of Hickory. So thank you for joining us today. And Mandy, if you don't mind, just at first, talk a little bit about obviously that mouthful of an organization that you run. But there are, like you've said before in previous conversations, there's several different hats, not only that you wear in your role, but that your organization works in for this community. Do you mind just kind of giving an overview of those?
Right. So I'm glad to be here. I'm in a room full of Hickory champions as well. So it's nice to be in
Hickory
good
nuts,
company.
right?
Hickory nuts
That's
and
what
champions.
Mandy keeps trying to say, that's what we're calling
Mary
Hickory
Margaret.
nuts.
Do you know?
See, another
That was the name
table.
of our basketball team we had for a while, the Hickory Nuts. Remember,
Yeah.
Will Johnson was on it. Remember that? Well, that'll be another episode.
They don't quite understand the growing up here aspect
Right.
because neither one of them actually come from this area.
Yeah. So
Few and proud.
So
we are the
we
Hickory
adopted?
tree.
I mean, you're getting there.
Nuts.
You've paid taxes long enough here, but
Thanks, I'm glad that's the threshold.
yeah, I mean that's what I'd like to
You think I'm paying taxes?
I know, right?
I'm just
Maybe.
kidding, Jay.
Oh,
X
my.
that out. I don't need to be red flagged.
Well, anyways, back to the topic here we're talking about today. It is a mouthful. When I started this position in October 2015, you come into the position, you're excited about it, and you have all these ideas and how things are going to work. And then I've been in it about 2 years, and it's been great. Learned more than I ever thought I would learn. But our basic mission is heads in beds and bottoms in seats. So that means we are trying to fill our convention center, which turned 20 years old in 2017, the original part of it. Our job is to get people here to have meetings, and they stay in hotels, and so they're generating occupancy tax, and then they're going to eat dinner, and then they're going to eat dinner, and they're going to pay for their meal, and then they're going to give the waiter or waitress a tip, and then that tip's going to go obviously to help pay for their rent or their mortgage or their groceries. And so one thing I like to say, and I learned this from my predecessor B.B. Leach, is that tourism is the purest form of economic development. And of course, Scott Millar and I kind of talk about that a little bit, he being on the EDC. I'm sure, your listeners know who he is as well. He's like, explain that to me. And I was like, well, just how I explained it before. Our job is to get people that don't live in our area to come here, either for a meeting or to go one of our events. Hickory is growing. And when I say Hickory, I don't mean the city limits. Visitors have no idea if you're in Conover, Hickory, Newton, in Hudson, Granite Falls, Hildebrand. People just don't know. The visitors are here because they're here to come hear music. They're coming to eat at our restaurants. They're coming to our parks. They may be in a soccer tournament. And so to them, the visitors are looking at our area as a whole as well, if that makes sense. So that's our main job, is to pull people here to have meetings. And then obviously we want visitors to come here to spend the night. And we're just really a partner with so many organizations. I don't work for the city of Hickory. I don't work for a hotel. I don't work for the Chamber of Commerce. I actually work for a board that's appointed by Hickory and Conover. And just a really tidbit is in the 80s, I was barely a child, I was just growing up. I don't know if MM was quite born yet, but yeah.
79. 79.
So I'm a 1970 girl. Well, a lot of leaders in our area, and some of them are luckily still alive and helping push the vision, created an authority, and Conover and Hickory are the ones that actually had the hotels, and they had liquor by the drink. And that's what created the hotels and the restaurants. And so this was formed before the convention center was even built to raise money to build a convention center. And that's just a lot of details. But it's been around a long time. It's just not overnight. But it's taking decades to build the momentum where we are now. And I feel like we're in a great momentum. Our hotels are full. There's a new bed and breakfast in Conover too for a smaller, venue or people kind of like that. And then obviously we've got one in Newton as well.
So as a resident, someone who sees the traffic here, sees a lot of the same people every day type thing, right? Mm-hmm. Who's staying in these hotels?
Good question. Well, right now we have a group in newly elected officials across the state, and they're here tonight. They were here last night and tonight on a 2-day course about they're either new officials or they just want to brush up on some of the rules. And so they're here from all over the state. So you have people attending meetings. You have business travelers. I mean, we have, and Michael mentioned it before, furniture industry is really big. We have lots of furniture industry people coming in, designers coming in, people coming into those companies. We've still got a lot of, fiber. We've got, manufacturing is still big in our area. We have all headquarters businesses. I could start listing them, but I don't want to leave someone out. So people are coming here to do business with companies that are here. And if you drive by the hotels in the middle of the week, it's peak night, it's hard to get a room. Mm-hmm. And then our job, again, is to get groups to come in. This month, this January, we've got a big show next week that brings in about 900 people. Probably 700 of them are going to spend the night, 1 or 2 nights. The next week, we have another big meeting. And I'll go ahead and tell you what that is. That one's it's the McDonald's GM, and happened to get that just because of John Link, who lives here, who owns some McDonald's. And he said, I would like to hold the GM conference here, the general managers for their McDonald's in Hickory. Can you do it? Because they have been all over the state. They've never been to a city as small as Hickory, but we can provide what they need. And I feel like we are so driven to make people happy, and we love to treat our customers well. So we're excited about having them. There's going to be about 1,100 of them. Wow. So they're spending the night. We have gymnastics, a regional meet coming in next year. It's going to bring, hotels are going to be full all the way past Morganton, maybe, state's full. Every room is going to be full for 4 nights. So that is who's spending the night here. It's not, so we, definitely our organization, our goal is, and our sales team, and we reach out to the community saying, okay, if you're a dentist, bring the dental group here. Like I just mentioned, John Link, you have a McDonald's, you have an opportunity to bring your group to our community because it's helping us all, basically. Sure. So I think we have, obviously most of them are business travels. They're here for business. Now, leisure, it depends what you call leisure. Some people, I have a family member that's a really good swimmer, and so she's gone to Raleigh all the time for the big swimming pool, and so she's, they're leisurely visiting. It's not for business, and they're here they're in Raleigh because of a tournament. Just like here, we have soccer tournaments, we have lacrosse tournaments. Lenore Ryan, my goodness, they bring a lot of overtime visitors. If you think about Lenore Ryan, if you think about parents are coming to visit their children. And then you've got this football, which is going to be really good next year. I understand,
Coach
really
Connick,
good coach, and you've just got a lot of followers that are happening there. So it's every facet. So it's not something just myself and my staff are doing. It's what we're doing in the community to bring people to our area. Does that make sense? Or did I just talk like 6th Avenue Circle Drive in a circle?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do on this show.
Hopefully I got everybody confused. They were able to follow a little bit. So that's who's staying in the hotels.
Absolutely. No, it makes total sense. And it's hard for us, I think, sometimes as locals, quote unquote, locals, to realize that.
You're exactly right. And recently I was on a panel for a young Hickory Young Professionals, and they were asking what there is to do in Hickory and what there is to do in the area. And I said, well, we have this calendar. And I'm laughing because Mary Margaret and I have been working on a calendar, and her brother, and we worked on that for decades, right? So we've kind of got this calendar going. And it's got about every event there is to do in the area if you go to hickorymetro.com on the calendar side. Well, very long story short, the young person in the audience in the 20s said, you know what? I moved here, but I would never think to look at the visitor's website. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, that made a good point. Yeah. And so here we're trying so hard to inform our visitors, and we got to inform our locals to understand what we have here.
Be a tourist in your own town.
Right. That, we did in May, and we'll do again in May in 2018, 31 Days of May, which is focusing on the importance of tourism to our community, which is probably a good segment to the next thing we want. I know some of the things we want to talk about bringing people to our area, but tourism is really important. It's a big industry. And in North Carolina is the 6th largest, has 6th, most visited state in the United States.
Huh.
There's 50 states. We're number 6. And don't ask me what 1
interesting.
through 5 is, because right now I just lost that. Of course, Florida's up there.
Yeah, California.
California's up there.
Texas, New York.
New York's there. Virginia, I believe. And I can't remember another
Historical
one.
stuff, maybe.
Yeah, but we're up there number 6, and we're strong
That's
at
great.
6.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we have
My
been.
fun fact for the day to
It
go
is.
share with somebody else.
And so we are really in Catawba County. We are. I mean, that's how the state of North Carolina kind of breaks you down into counties. This is not breaking into the MSA that I know you all talk about quite a bit, the Hickory Metro. But basically, Catawba County, out of 100 counties, we are the 16th. We have the 16th largest economic impact of all the counties.
Of all 100 in
Directly
North
or
Carolina.
based on tourism.
Based on tourism.
Wow.
16.
And, Andrew, you brought up earlier that
Right.
we have a coastal town and a mountain.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Coastal,
counties on
mountain,
the
and
coast,
urban
and I'm sure
that
they
we're
get,
in the mix with, so that's pretty good.
get a lot of traffic.
So it's and this is a study that the U.S. Travel Association works with the Visit North Carolina with, and so it's legitimate. I know
Yeah.
sometimes I look at numbers and lists,
Oh,
and how do
yeah.
we get on this list? But this is
Right.
legitimate. And domestic visitors to and within Catawba County spent $264.5 million in 2016. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And don't ask me where all those numbers come from, but it's a lot and it's valid. And what's really interesting too, you're talking about tourism. Like as a resident, I grew up here, here thinking about it. But there are almost 2,400 people in Catawba County that have a job that has to do with tourism. That's my job. You got to think of the crawdads, hoteliers, destination
restaurants,
restaurants.
or-
Yep, some
Okay, so there's
destination
different
restaurants.
categories.
There
Okay,
are
that's what
different
I was
categories. And the Hickory Furniture Mart is still our number one tourist. If you're destination. Today in my office, 2 different people came in today. And,
So crazy.
one was from Greenville, North Carolina. The other one, I don't remember they were from a different state, but I was kind of walking through and they were talking to our visitor coordinator. But we have people all the time that come across. I bought furniture here 10 years ago. We're coming back. I've got this furniture that was handed down from my aunt or uncle, and they got it at the Furniture Mart, and they got the best price and the best quality, and it's made right here. Yes, ma'am, it is made here. Come here. So, that is consistently happening. We see it.
Let me ask y'all this, the guys. I'm pretty sure I know the answer from Moose, but McNally, when's the last time you've been in the Furniture Mart?
It's been at least a year and a half.
Moose, when's the last time you've been in the Furniture Mart?
Like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Right, yeah.
Oh, y'all asked me. Somebody asked me.
Yeah, my
when.
girlfriend's dad is the proprietor of the Wooden Spool, which is the
Yes.
restaurant in there. He makes a great egg salad. Go check it out.
Did you go?
Oh, I've actually heard
He
people
does
talk
have
about that.
he's a great chef.
Did you?
Yeah, Chuck's great.
Have you bought furniture there?
I have not bought furniture there in a while.
Okay.
What about and you, Mary Margaret?
I mean, it's been years.
Yeah.
Years since
Well,
I've
even
been
then,
in
early
there
on, I'd
to
go
go
there
shopping for that.
and
Yeah.
look at the furniture, and then I'd go up, the 20 miles or whatever it was that we used to sell up 321. You could actually go to
Yeah.
the old the stores themselves. But every time I have some visitor coming in and they've got time to kill and want to know about Hickory, and it's still been 18 months, but that was the last time
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that's actually in the tourism world, and he wanted to see it. Because it's a show when you go into this place and you see how big it is and you realize it's how many million square feet or whatever it is, and it's all furniture.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
No,
Every
it's
color,
very
It's a
cool.
great
kind,
show
every-
piece for us.
But I got my very first apartment set of furniture, for a bedroom, out of college type deal. That was my very first set was in there.
It's real furniture then.
Oh, real
Yeah,
deal
you weren't
stuff.
going
Yeah,
to-
and I wasn't getting a futon, from Target.
Your
This was
parents
real
knew
deal
what they were
stuff.
doing. This
Right.
was the real deal. You didn't
Right,
need to
and
go
I mean,
to the big.
you're going to start off right, and you're
Right.
going to do it right, and I mean that furniture is still kicking. Yeah, so it's just I just was.
And it was
curious
made
because-
by, I'll get chills. It's made by some craftsman nearby
Yeah.
who's maybe retired by now since we're a little
Exactly.
older. But I'm just saying, but it's furniture that's going to last, and
Yeah.
it's heritage furniture. And no matter if it's contemporary or traditional, or it's going to last.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's great price. So really,
spoiled here.
Yeah,
we
it's-
are.
it's great
and
to
it's
know,
almost like when people say, you do this list and they're like, oh, I've been to the Science Center, I've been to the Art Museum, I've been to the French Market. Well, have you been there lately? Like
Yeah.
there's traveling exhibits and things change. And the Furniture Mart, actually, they have these sales all throughout the year, aftermarket sales and such. But in July, they have basically where they bring someone out doing the 8-way tie, like how they make the springs.
Hand springs,
And it's
yeah.
and we're trying to work with them to figure out to make the festival a little bit larger. But people come, I like driving through their parking lot because you see almost every 50,
That's
all
awesome.
the states.
That's really cool.
Check it out. So I encourage anyone who's listening to check it out and just walk through there. And it's not intimidating. People are nice, and believe me, it's the best prices you're going to find anywhere in the United States.
Absolutely.
And that would be a whole nother program to have them on, but goodness
Right.
gracious.
It's basically the internet in
They're
real life.
amazing.
You can walk through
Yes.
every company's showroom there, and instead of, I'm the typical male who likes to feel and touch things before I purchase them on the internet, off the internet,
Especially you.
right? Which I don't usually. So I like to go and feel and touch things before I buy them, and that. The Furniture Mart is a great place where you can go and you can check out. How many different companies are in there? 15 or 20 probably.
more than
more
that.
More than
I
that.
hear you.
So you can walk through that and catch 75, 100 different companies, their entire line, and make your own best decision from that. It's the way to go when you're buying things like that, I believe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just kind of switching gears a little bit, we discuss a lot of the events, like Mary Margaret had mentioned on the podcast. One that really caught my eye was the powerlifting event last year. What can you tell
Is that coming up this year?
I'm not sure.
Powerlifting. It is.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of interesting things here.
Right.
Our main goal is to get in these big conventions and associations, and we have a niche with that. And but there's a lot of public shows.
Right.
This past weekend we had the toy show. There's vintage toys there that are my parents' age that are just nice. We get a lot of people in there. Then we have some powerlifting. It's actually in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming up. We haven't even talked about this yet because we just got the contract, everything signed. A roller derby is going to be there.
No.
The
Yes.
mountain
Might be
rallies.
cool.
I
Oh
believe.
man, put that on the calendar.
And a local gal's another local connection. Who works, Gina, I believe, who works at the Habitat for Humanity, is a roller derby girl.
Yes.
Yeah, we know her.
Yes.
Yep.
She
And
is.
she has got this club coming. It's Easter weekend, March 30th, 31st, and April 1. And there's going to be teams, probably 500, 600 women spend the night in our hotels. Easter weekend, kind of not a busy weekend. So they're going to help fill the hotels. And then the original part of the convention center has got that cement.
Yeah. Where the dinosaurs were. And
This is also a
stuff.
PSA to all guys in the bar that weekend, not to really to go out on a limb and jump to some ladies.
They
They look pretty tough. I'm
I'm telling
you.
you, there are teams of them coming.
So they're actually going to skate in the convention
Oh, yeah, they
center.
are.
They're not like going to skate land.
Oh no,
Oh.
they're in there. They're building
Wow,
ramps
that's
and everything they do.
crazy.
There'll be
That's
a ring.
cool. That'd be
But
cool to see.
powerlifting is. They have an event there. I didn't go to it exactly.
Caught my eye. I was
but,
like, powerlifting. I was like, I didn't even.
And then we have two coming up this
Right.
year, and actually, it's a big following.
Sure.
I've seen multiple dance competitions at the convention center.
Yes. We have the Hickory
different types.
Hoedown was there for
The
a
clogging
while.
one,
The
yeah,
clogging.
yeah.
But
That was big, too.
It is really big, and then we have the gymnastics. A lot of different meets there.
Yeah.
It's going
So,
good, and we
very
have some
cool
public
stuff.
shows, like different public shows, like our Home and Garden show is big, and it's usually in March, and
You have the senior.
Expo, the chambers
Expo,
held
yes.
that. And we have a lot of, I like how we have in that building a lot of events where leaders in our community come to. So they're there often, whether it's the annual economic development luncheon or if it's the Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. So you're bringing in people that are residents, and
Yeah.
so they're getting to learn a little bit more
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few banquets there too for like end of year dinners for a organization in town.
Right.
That just needs that big of a space
I
too,
know.
which is great.
Yeah, it is really
That's awesome.
And there's just so many different events that you guys hold there that just not only for visitors. Hickory citizens should definitely get on to hickorymetro.com and check that out. The gun shows to Comic-Con to
Oh
the
yeah,
whole,
I'm so
gamut.
crafty as this week. It's
Oh,
February
really?
3rd. I'm so SEW crafty.
So like sewing,
So
Got
crafting.
it.
And we had our first Christmas show in a long time. It happened the weekend it snowed, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. But there's been an ask for a Christmas show. Well, these folks actually have a lot of experience. I've gone to the Atlanta market, and it was a true to form, like the juried section of the Oktoberfest, the artistic, and it went well despite the snow, and they want to come back and try it again. They're doing something else soon. So that brings a lot of people into.
Yeah.
We have, we're going to have a boat show. We haven't had a boat show in about 5 or 6 years or more. That's in March. Of course, we have a bird show that brings some bird followers. I'm not talking about the outdoor birds. I like the ones that are indoors and all that stuff. We have a bridal show coming up the first Sunday in March, and that's the first time there's been a bridal show there probably in over 10 years. So a lot of these shows, we're trying to get the right people that we think that are going to it's going to be profitable for the person renting our space, but it takes our locals to go to these shows for them to be successful.
That's right.
Of course, a lot of the vendors will come and spend the night in the hotel, and everybody goes out to dinner or goes to shopping, so that helps. But really, it takes every single one of us. But we have a lot of interesting shows.
Yeah.
And then a big one, of course, the 21st annual Pottery Festival will be here the last, March 24th, 25th. And with that is a gem and mineral show. Now, do you remember going to the gem and mineral show as a kid? Mary Margaret?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great.
But I think I'm pretty old. It went to the American Legion, so we went there. I don't know if it's been to the convention center, but it's a lot of traffic, and it's good stuff.
Well, we know that we need to know more, but we know that they are bringing cool events and different groups and stuff. But you briefly touched on, actually off the mic before we started, how your job has many different hats. Not just your job, but the convention center is not just that. There's also the Visitors Bureau and things. Tell us the divisions over there and what their purposes are.
Okay. So we've got the Regional Visitor Center. So we're not one of the North Carolina Visitor Center, but we work with them. So we work with Visit North Carolina, and we work with our local tourism partners. In the past couple of years, we've really built a coalition of probably 24 people within our area that have events that have destination restaurants or attractions like the Crawdads or the Speedway. So we have a tourism partner group, and that goal is really to talk about what everyone's doing and trying to do our best. And actually, that group includes our hoteliers, because they need to know. In Little Ryan University, this is a core group, and it's not anybody who's part of tourism is welcome to come. We don't say, hey, you can't come in the door. So it's really about putting heads together to figure out, okay, this is what we have going on, and how can we promote it, help each other promote our.
Sure.
So that's kind of the tourism side. On the convention center side, again, our job is to keep that convention center full. Last year, calendar year 2017, there were 199 events in 1 year. That's the most events have ever been in 1 year. Now, when I say 199, some of those events are there for a week. And sometimes we have 3 events on one day that are small meetings. And sometimes, but this 2018 is going to be the largest year we've had ever. We have a lot of large association groups that are coming. I know I mentioned a few. McDonald's is a new meeting for us. And so, when you see visitors out and you think they're here, make sure, we greet them. But we have every local grassroots local, like city council person or town council or county commissioner in North Carolina will have the opportunity to come to Hickory this year. So the North Carolina League of Municipalities, which has been here several times before, they're coming back in September. So 4 weeks before that's the North Carolina County Commissioners Association. And these are associations that are made up of elected officials and their management and other key staff. And we expect about 1,000 out of each of the groups. They're going to be here in August and in September. And when they're here, some come early. So during that time of year, luckily, we'll probably have some Crawdads games going on. We'll have some concerts outside. Of course, there's always a lot of things to do at the Salt Block, and our theaters have events. But it's really important to have those big associations here. It says a lot. We also have the NCGOP. So no matter what, political affiliation you're with, but we're getting the North Carolina Grand Ole Party having their annual meeting. They've never had a meeting in a city this small. They're having it here in June. Probably about 1,000 people. And that's really a big deal. And then we have the North Carolina Cattlemen. Oh, they are fun. They have been here for 20 years. Cattlemen Association. Virginia and Maryland Dairy, they have 2 big meetings here a year. So we have, I brought this list. It's exhaustive.
A bunch of people.
It is. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Like we are really, really known for we have a lot of camp meetings. We have Church of God.
Yes.
We have the Lutherans are having a big association meeting here. The Knights of Columbus. It's an organization out of the Catholic Church for men. And really they started, raising money a century ago to help widows from the war, and that money, is differently. Well, I don't know how it's a really big organization. Probably about 800. We've been trying to get them for probably half a dozen years, trying to get them to come, and they're finally coming. And then we have the beekeepers are coming again. North Carolina, South Carolina beekeepers. They came 2 years ago. They enjoyed it. I mean, we got to have
a lot of
honey.
buzz about that.
A lot of buzz. Got to have y'all come. Fits perfectly. So I know I get excited and I get
I
on
always
a
let you
roll,
know.
but I mean, we have. It is amazing.
That's really cool. That's really
It is
cool.
amazing the groups that we have, and we have the North Carolina Social Services. Of course, every county has one of those, and they've come and they've signed another 3-year contract to come with us because they like it. And here's why people like it. The majority, I've said this before off the mic. Most of us are not from Charlotte's, Raleigh's, New York Cities. Most of us don't like to pay $12 to park, and I'm not saying anything about the larger cities, but most people feel uncomfortable in really large cities and they get confused. And yes, we have one-way streets and people get lost here all the time, but at least people will say, hey, just take a right here by the old Winn-Dixie that's not here anymore. But at least we're friendly and we'll talk to them. Not saying other people aren't friendly, but we just have that certain
hometown feel.
We
right?
do, and you can find us, and people will help you. And it's more, it's to their size. I mean, if you're from a smaller area, you can still fit in because you've got your hotel right there, and you've got a one-level
Easy to find
convention
you guys.
center. Easy to find us right off I-40. And so I think that's one of our biggest niches that we have in North Carolina associations. Everybody has an association, and they try to stay in state. So we're not really trying to go get the BMW convention or one of those large conventions that are going to go to a city with a large, like LA or Raleigh or Charlotte. They're not coming here, but there are so many groups that we fit perfectly. People feel comfortable. We have great food, better than your typical convention center food, because we have an exclusive contract with Liazzo's Catering. And they don't just have rubber chicken. I mean, it's really good food. Like I walked in there and people have been raving about the food today at the event. So we just have that niche, and we have people that really want people to generally have a good time here.
Yeah.
And so the convention center, we have everything. We set up chairs. I'm trying to put together this annual report. I would like to know how many chairs we have put up in millions of chairs.
I bet.
So
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't necessarily want this to be a wrap-up question. You talk about the great variety of events and things we've had. Kind of in your role, I mean, we've got obviously great people. We got great restaurants. We got great location. Especially in my mind, from being in the South and driving around being in other communities, we've got a great facility. Recently added parking deck to make things a little easier for people to get in and out of. What in your mind, would be some wish lists? Like, where are we when you're out and about and your team's out and about selling and promoting and hearing? Like, what are some things that would be, this would be another great ad for the area to kind of go to that next level that's still not, I don't want the urban setting, but what could be the thing that add to our niche?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, right now, our board we are thinking ahead. We do feel like we do need some additions, and so we have a request for qualifications out there now for a facility and space study right now, because we feel like there is a need for more meeting rooms at our space. I mean,
Right.
I know you're
That's what
talking
I was
about the
gonna say.
entire community probably, but what we need in the community.
So that one's specific to y'all's
But that's
actual
specific
physical
to our
location.
physical location. We're really considering, obviously expanding, and we also have to update our facility because, we just last year had to redo our entire Wi-Fi network, because when the building was built 20 years ago, no one thought about internet or Wi-Fi or why did you need that? It wasn't, but now it's just as necessary as the restrooms.
Right.
And it has to be good. It cannot be. So, we have those facilities, but as the area as a whole, let me think. I think our citizens really could do a whole lot of taking time out. I know we're all busy. We're running kids places. You're kind of stuck. I'm on this PTA. I'm doing this. I don't have time to look and see what everything is going on. But I think if our citizens would take an opportunity to find the events that are going on and just explore something new. And if they have a good feeling about it, they share it, whether it's social media, their family. So I think it's still at the grassroots. We still need
Growing
to really
organically.
grow that organically. But I mean, our baseball stadium, we're getting ready to start our 26th year.
And it's going to be shiny.
Yeah,
and
complete facelift.
Exactly.
Mark was
That is
telling me the other day.
that's a big lift. I think the bond projects, I mean, I think the dirt's going to turn. So for people just to stay put with that and just support it and be a part of that. And I think that helps the entire area, not just the city, even though us as taxpayers are paying for it. It's going to benefit the entire Western North Carolina, really, if you ask me. We have great restaurants that are coming aboard. We have more outdoor music. So I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need a hockey league or anything.
Right.
Just kidding.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it away.
Right.
But
Well, I know you got a lot of partners, like even facility-wise.
Oh,
you work.
partners.
CVCC has that. So I mean, we don't necessarily even need another center when you've got some that are there, just because it doesn't have your logo on the
Oh
building.
yeah,
I know you work with everybody.
We don't care where people stay or where they meet, and we're talking about CVCC, the Hickory Metro Sports Commission, which we're a part of. Obviously, just had the big basketball classic. It's mainly locals, and that's great. The Hickory Sports Commission helps with other things. Like last year, they helped promote the Lady Bass Anglers. They had their meeting, they had their fishing tournament here in Lake Hickory, and they want to come back in 2019 because they like the people in our area. And they stayed in the hotels and they fished on our lake, and hey, they go to 5 spots a year, and we're one of them. So we're on trucks now, Hickory, North Carolina, Lady Bass
nice.
Anglers, So I mean, I think all of us can participate. I think we work well together. That's what's made us so strong, and I feel like we continue to be the best area in the country because we believe in partnerships. You open up a newspaper across the country if you're visiting somewhere and somebody's fighting somebody and somebody's fighting somebody. Well, we actually get along here.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
we may not be exactly on the same page, but we can collaborate in partnership, and I think we'll keep doing that.
For sure. Everybody's got the same, heading in the same direction.
And I know,
And we've benefited regionally too. I know that
Absolutely.
our neighboring counties that don't necessarily have the room space. If they have events, be it in Burke County or Caldwell, you guys get a lot of residual.
Great comment there in Alexander County. Apparently, there is a large place where people paintball, and it's a large tournament. And they took up one of the big hotels near our area recently. We work with Alexander County and Burke County and Caldwell County and all the cities and towns because, like I said, visitors don't know, and we don't.
Right.
As long as you're visiting our part of the
It's about
North
time.
Carolina,
It's not about the line and where you are.
It's
and
not
whatnot.
about the line. It's about the people and how we can help them. And today, someone wanted to go fly fishing. Well, you're going to have to go to Wilson's Creek. It's not too far, Caldwell
Yeah.
County, across the line.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I get there? How can I set up a trip?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the
That's what it's
opportunity's
about.
there. I mean, you talk about that space study. Just in the time I've been here, a lot of space has already been taken up with at
Right.
least 3 new hotels
Right.
pushing against, in your general
Exactly.
vicinity within
And coming
walking
up
distance.
soon, I know y'all met Calvin. I'm sure Reyes with the Henry Mill Village and Hildebrand. I mean, people come stop at our visitor center. They want to know where the Hunger Games was filmed.
Hunger
Okay,
Games
right.
Village.
Still
where is
talking
it?
about that?
They are still talking about
Because
that.
I was in Burke when they
I
were,
know.
all over that. And
That's right.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
People, and so we actually added to our little map we give people when they
Oh,
come
good.
in because it's like, okay, this is how you get there.
Well, it's closer to here than it is to Morganton.
I know. And Calvin and I were talking last week, and we want to help him as well because, obviously he has these visions for his village. He doesn't have anywhere for them to stay yet. Of course,
Yeah.
he has plans for them, and he already conducts business here in our area. So we're all here to help each other.
Yeah.
We truly are genuine. We're not full of it. We're not blowing smoke. Y'all know me well enough to know that we genuinely want this whole area to be helpful, and we work really well together. And sometimes people don't believe you when you say that, but it's honest to God truth.
Compared to other places,
Yes.
we're very lucky.
We can
right?
do it.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
are.
absolutely. Well, absolutely. Well, anything that we need to know coming up that you think we should be involved in, whether it is an event. I know you've mentioned a whole bunch of them.
Well, I think the main thing is here it's January, but before we know it, it's going to be spring. And so just like you all helped us last year, I think in May, we really want us to focus. I encourage everybody to focus on 31 days of May. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like yet, but we'll keep you in tune. But basically, the purpose of that is to visit somewhere in your community that be a tourist in your own backyard. Whether it's taking, it doesn't have to cost you anything. You can go take a walk at one of the parks. You can walk downtown, or you can go to the Science Center on free Fridays. I mean, there's so many things you can do in our community, and just explore it as a visitor and then tell someone about it. I think that's the biggest thing that could help us.
Absolutely. That's a really cool event, too. You guys put out a calendar, and it has these different things listed for every day. There's something different listed for every day. And, of course, if the crawdads are on a homestand, that's listed on there for all of them. But it's really cool to be able to pull up, and you're like, oh, yeah, like I hadn't even thought about something like that. Like, you can go do it, and there's kid-friendly events on there, family-friendly stuff, and then, of course, like date night stuff, too.
Right.
It's a very, very cool thing that you guys put on.
That's right, and it's a kind of an idea. You don't have to do those every day by any means, and we have a really nice video on it that people start coming out again, too.
You do.
So you can watch it, because it'll be coming around pretty soon, because May will be here before we know it.
Absolutely, because it's already January 11th.
2018.
I know, right? Yeah. McNally's already having a hard time with it. Well, thank you, Mandy, so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Hope you'll stick around while we recap our quick lunch visit that we had today.
Absolutely. I want to hear all about it.
Yes, we are, I think, all in a very happy mood today. We're not sluggish. We're not tired. We're not overly full and having gorged ourselves.
That's true. Which is different.
Not that those other visits have been bad, because we've had some very
There's
happy
a reason
bellies.
we gorged ourselves.
We've been very happy tummies.
It was bad.
Yes. But, Moose, why don't you tell us where we went today?
Well, in the efforts of turning over a new leaf for the new year, our hosts and myself, we went to ActiveEdge Nutrition. Or Center Street Eats. They go by both monikers. It is a stop and go and a sit-in establishment with nothing but healthy eats, and it's super close to my house. It's one of my favorites. The proprietors, the Garrisons, are great folks. They have the premise is that you can go and get any lunch that you want. They have a hot lunch special. Or dinner, right. That's under 450 calories for the hot lunch. They also have coolers when you walk in that have pre-prepared foods that you can pick up and heat up at your house. And they're smaller portions, and they're geared more for people who are trying to, eat on the lighter side. But I tend to eat there for lunch. They're ready in 5 minutes. I walk out of the office, call them up. By the time I get there, it's ready. I go to my house and eat. It's the way to go. McNally, Mary Margaret, and I went today, and they had just it was packed. It was fantastic.
Well, let me preface this too with saying that the sit-in area is new, as a new option for Center Street Eats. Which hence be the reason that we went there for lunch today. I wanted to see it. I like to frequent there, especially for dinner, and pick it out of the cooler. That's one of my family's favorite things, is to walk in and everybody gets to pick what they want. And I really don't have a problem with my kids picking whatever they want, because it's healthier for them. If that makes sense. So, but now that ActiveEdge and Center Street Eats has opened up this sit-in area, I mean, it's a whole new ball game. You can go there for lunch and sit down and enjoy a meeting, or catch up with a friend, whatever, and still enjoy that nice hot lunch offering that they have, which the menu changes every day. So you go in, and as we all kind of know, it's nice to switch it up, which we don't always do. So it was cool to have that today. So, McNally, tell us what you had.
Well, this is my first time going there, and I only knew it as being the place where you go and grab the prepared, food in a cooler, hopefully trying to watch Girlish Figure. Needless to say, that's probably why I was never in there beforehand. But I think this podcast and subsequent meals have now caused me to give a little bit more effort.
To need to go there.
To need to go somewhere like this. So I was very excited to go here. And like you said, I didn't even know about the seated area. So going in there and seeing that, I had the turkey BLT, sourdough, turkey, Swiss, and obviously bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Turkey bacon.
Yeah, turkey bacon on sourdough, Swiss cheese.
Did you know you were eating turkey bacon today?
Well, I didn't know it was turkey bacon, but there was turkey on it as well.
And turkey bacon.
Yeah, so
right?
Turkey on turkey.
It was turkey. It was turkey on turkey.
Because we know Moose does not partake in the meat. But he had
Right, chicken
turkey
or beef.
BLT.
Oh, no,
Right.
I'm sorry, pork
He
or
likes
beef.
Pork or beef, right.
Yeah.
He likes
But-
fowl.
Yeah.
But you had the turkey BLT.
I also
as
had
well.
turkey BLT.
Yeah.
It's great. However, I will preface this saying my favorite thing, which they didn't serve today, which I was shortly disappointed about. Shortly disappointed? Is that a word?
That makes sense. Sort of.
Disappointed, I think, is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the turkey BLT. I usually get the turkey burger. The other $7 hot lunches that they offer today were Fiesta beef burrito and the Hawaiian ham sandwich and Buffalo Ranch pita. Mary Margaret, you can tell us all about that one.
Yes, I strayed. You guys actually had the turkey BLT with the same side item.
Yeah.
Well, and we didn't converse. Usually we talk about this beforehand and try to
Yeah.
get different things.
Yeah.
And, we're off our game today, New Year, and we forgot to talk about what we were going to get. And
you Siamese
unbeknownst,
twinsed it.
we got the exact same
We did.
thing. So
Well, I went last in the ordering, and I listened to what you guys were ordering, and therefore I ordered something different. So I went with the Buffalo Ranch chicken pita. It was great. It's warm, open face served. I tried to eat it folded up like a pita
Wasn't
wrap,
gonna
but
happen.
it wasn't going to happen. It's too much. So I actually just cut it up with a fork knife. It was excellent. Chicken had like a creamy buffalo sauce on it because I'm assuming that the ranch was mixed in with it. Fresh lettuce, tomato, cheese, and banana peppers.
and a homemade ranch.
Yeah,
Because our veggies had ranch dip, and you could tell.
For
it
sure.
was-
Yeah, you had the side item of fresh veggies and ranch.
Yeah, and again, all these hot meals are under 450 calories, and they come with sides. The choice sides were tortilla chips, fresh fruit, pasta salad, side salad, veggies with ranch. So all that, $7.
Yeah.
It's a great deal.
They offer water as community water, and it's infused. And today's flavor was blueberry and lemon.
Correct.
Yes, and it was delicious. Yeah, and that's much like the review from last month. I guess it was last month. Was Hatch?
Yep.
Yeah. So Hatch usually has the tap water jug out there, and sometimes has lemon in it and whatnot. This one has the same type of premise, and that is free. So all three of us had that. It was really good.
Right. It was tasty.
But of course, they have a whole cooler of cans and bottled drinks and stuff too that you can get there.
I was really impressed with the selection of prepared meals in the coolers. Like I was looking through, whether that's buffalo chicken dips, salsas,
it's not
might have
just
been a
like a
spinach and avocado sort of dip.
Yeah.
Then they go down and had salads prepared. Then they had sandwiches and wraps.
Yeah.
And then they had more of,
They have
I guess,
good
heartier.
pimento cheese.
Yes,
have, like,
they
bean
do.
dip.
They had some heartier meals. They had like a steakhouse thing. I mean, so it wasn't just like
Lasagna.
sandwiches. They had
Black bean
lasagnas.
burgers, out of bounds.
So
For real good.
that part really impressed me, especially then Moose says, and they even were talking about it today, trying to be prepped. You're in and out. You got a thing. It's going to be good, and it's going to be 450 calories, give or take, and it's
The hot meals. The hot meals are the prepared meals that we're talking about.
Or
in the
less.
cooler. They're less. They're
It depends.
It does-
depends
yeah,
on
of
what
course
you
it depends
order.
on
Yeah,
what you order,
there's stuff you can get in there, and they're sort of sorted that way as
right.
well.
Sure.
And they're part of the food truck too, because I had the
Yes.
food truck at the Foot Candle Film Festival,
Yes.
the debut of the
Center
food trucks
Street
in
Eats.
Hickory legally.
I know it. I know it. Was so,
underground.
yeah, it was. It
was
we have a
good.
sneaky one,
But it was
we
great.
are
Fresh food.
glad. Yes, Center Street Eats has a great food truck option, and hopefully they'll be getting out there more, doing more stuff.
They also do a lot of catering and all that good
They
stuff.
do have a
too.
catering option, a brochure there you can go by and pick up. But one thing we're failing to mention is that this is one of the places in Hickory where you are able to order your meals for the week, and they will do pre-portioned meals for you within a calorie count.
It's impressive.
It's pretty amazing. And they give you a deadline. Your best resource, I believe, for that's the TourismActiveEdge arena, is to go online to Facebook and follow them on Facebook, because they put everything up there. They put the menu up there for the lunch for the day. The cooler, if they change out and put something new in there, they'll do like a special announcement, but they usually have the good standard stuff. But they also will notify you whenever it's time to turn in your meals for the week. And they'll have a menu for it. And you actually go through and pick out the things that you like. And they will prepare in portion cups a whole meal for you, meal plan for the week. So I have a friend who does this in the office, and they go and pick it up. And it sits in the fridge for the week with these little, in the order it's supposed to be, labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And every day, that's what he goes in and pulls out for lunch and enjoys. And, it's something different each day. He's not eating the same thing every day. But he knows it's healthy, it's there, it's prepared and ready, and he doesn't have to do a thing.
Right. They also do family meal prep, too.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to get your family on a good meal plan, you can call them up, and they can do family-style catered dinners. Next week, they've got lemon garlic chicken, golden barbecue grilled chicken, Italian deli wraps, turkey and beef spaghetti, marsala pork tenderloin, Herb roasted? Herb's out there roasting. Herb's out there roasting.
Herb makes good chicken.
Man.
Herb at Center Street Eats.
Oh, side note. You know who KFC follows on Twitter? Like 17 guys named Herb and Spices. Do you know that? And you gotta look that up. But yeah, go check that out.
It's random.
I know. Why are you talking about Herbs?
Talking about Center Street Eats, and you bring up KFC.
Well, you know where my mind's at.
Where your heart really belongs.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, all right. Now's the time. What was your rating, Moose?
6 out of 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mandy, just to catch you up, and for everybody else that's new out there, Moose only rates things on a 7-point scale. 7. Nobody does that out there. McNally and I tend to do the normal red-blooded American thing of saying out of 10, right? So you were 6 out of 7.
6 out of 7.
That's big.
It is. It's huge.
High.
Okay, McNally?
I'm going to give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. And it's not because it wasn't great. I mean, the food was great. Actually, to me, the best part about it really was almost like you were saying, like if you really are honed in on just being healthier, let's just say, not even necessarily losing weight, just being healthier. I mean, the two things that trip you up the most are prepping and a lack of variety. And this is a great opportunity to just have that taken care of. The menus for the hot menu, relatively limited each day. The sandwich was great. Very cute little place to go eat. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'll round it up to an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
Like a normal person would.
Yeah. I'm in that same area. I'm probably like an 8.5 out of 10. And one of my favorite things about the place is that the people that work there and the owners and stuff, but they're just employees as well, are all so knowledgeable and so friendly about stuff that they are constantly trying to tell you the benefits of their food and how it's portioned or anything. Absolutely. And that's always just so welcoming to not
churn and burn, turn the table.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're using fresh organic ingredients,
right?
Local as they can get.
They're very. I think they all know that you're coming in there for a reason. They want to make sure you get what you're looking for, and so it's great. So I always have really good service in there, and my favorite is definitely the pick out of the cooler. So easy on the way home from work to go in there and just pick up things and take home. But now that they have the seating area, I think it's a whole new ballgame. Yeah, so
if you've been there before, it's definitely a reason to go back and check it out.
Yes.
And have that, meet up with folks, have that small business meeting, whatever it might be. I was impressed.
And enjoy the Mandy Pitts Hildebrand recommendation of pimento cheese from Center Street Eats.
That's right.
And you can get some with jalapenos sometimes.
Oh my gosh, that's the best. That's the best.
Yes, but it's good for you. It's good for your pimento cheese.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? Yeah. I can eat a whole tub of it then, right?
That's right.
Good for you. Huh?
Yeah, but we appreciate.
We'll take that. I'll take it.
Yeah, we appreciate Center Street Eats for an ActiveEdge nutrition for having us. Again, they're located at 2250 North Center Street on 127, right in Hickory. It's right beside the Il Bambini Grill House, which used to be another thing that I don't remember.
If you grew
right
up
beside
here,
Dante's.
If you grew up here, it's the old Max's.
The old Max's, yeah.
And
the old Ace, which is now Food Matters.
That's across,
right across from Utterly Delicious.
Yeah,
is it?
It is it's open every day but Sunday, and they are, I believe, at least until 7:00 at night.
They are.
Yeah. So Go there every day, but Sunday, enjoy it, and maybe even call ahead and have some meals prep and
Oh,
check it
dang,
out.
we didn't even talk about their smoothies. They're good.
I've never had a smoothie there.
Yeah, I like the Funky Monkey or whatever they call it. It's
Do they
good.
have those bubble thingies that
They don't
Michael
have
likes?
they don't have the.
Well, I'm fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
saying McNally always wants bubble
Always.
something
We
or
only
other.
went to one place that had
There's,
it.
no,
No,
we
we
went.
went to-
We went to Good Fa. You.
Faux.
No, it's Fa.
Fa?
Actually, yeah.
Well, then their name doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
I've changed
Fa
not
you.
nearly.
Good
not
Fa
nearly
you
as
is
Good
cool.
now
Fa
it's 4 out of
you.
7.
Pho. The way that you're supposed to say it is it Vietnamese, right?
Yep.
The way that you're supposed to pronounce it is pho.
The more you know.
Yeah, pho. Good for you.
Well, it was that and House of Nom Nom.
Yeah.
So both
Both had bubble teas.
Asian influence.
And I tried
had
it
the bubble
under
teas.
your-
But you cannot get the tapioca bubbles if you don't want to. Don't be scared.
But I had to try. That was the whole point of this show.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And you survived to talk about
I
it.
did. I got these little bubbles sitting in my belly, but no big deal still. Anyway, so great. Everybody's good. Everybody wants to go to ActiveEdge again.
I mean, if I don't watch this girlish figure, who will?
Well, not us, because we're bad influences on you.
No, McNally only did get one lunch today.
Oh,
Single
record.
digit lunch. Single digit lunch,
Your
folks.
wife is going to be so happy. You're going to actually eat dinner tonight. Love it. All right.
Oh, wait, are you hungry before the podcast is over? Because that's different. I'm kind of hungry.
I am, but it's good for me.
Yeah, it's a good. It's
I'm
it's
mentally,
some water,
my
just
mental
so
willpower
yeah.
is sitting there saying,
I'm going back.
Don't worry about it. You're still hungry, but that's probably a good thing.
Right. It's not like you're going to leave hungry from this place.
Yeah,
but
don't leave hungry.
It's just
No,
because
no,
it's
yeah.
I
not.
need a little snack.
It's just because we didn't eat 2 full meals apiece.
Well, there's that too.
Just again, background for new listeners and for Mandy. McNally has, come pretty close. You've had $20 lunches before.
Bring in
I know
the
about that, McNally.
I'm here for the people. I'm trying to tell people about the culinary experiences here in Hickory. This is not selfish. Listen, I gain weight for the people, not for me.
Me too.
Last
me too. I think
last
it's a good
month
excuse.
they had lunch and a half each because they split their second one.
Yeah.
And that still wasn't the most lunches I've had in a...
No.
No, there was.
What's the world record? Isabella's.
Was Isabella's our
Not for cost.
no
What was the call? What was the world record cost?
The Angus.
Angus? Yeah,
Buy a
but
ribeye
you
for
ate
$25.
you
Well,
ate
yeah.
a ribeye steak for lunch.
Each rib-
On a sizzling plate, correct?
And that's
Darn right.
because you got the small one. I was like, well, I'm not going to be shown up. I had to get the big one. And there was another one where I got a couple meals. Dante's.
Dante's just because they know you by name when you walk in there.
I'm waiting for them to change the name of that buffalo chicken pizza to the McNally. Although I guess it sounds Irish. It doesn't really have the same ring to it.
Yeah, well,
I guess the McNally would be more like if there
this
was
was definitely the new record of
Corned
your
beef and
cheapest
potato.
meal.
Absolutely. And it was delicious.
And caloric intake.
And caloric intake until it hit snack time.
The key is where you go for your snack. That's all. Think before you drink, okay? All right, so guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We want to say thank you to our sponsor, The Sock Factory. For those of you that are new listeners, we love the guys over at The Sock Factory. They are made in North Carolina since 1975, family-owned business. They specialize in their 3 lines of socks: Crazy Compression, William Tucker, and Fit Sock.
Currently wearing William Tucker.
Andrew Moose modeling his right now. Even though this is an audio podcast, we encourage you to go check out their website at www.thesockfactory.com.
#socks.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Street Circle Drive. We will be back soon with more full bellies, I'm sure, and lots more to talk about on our favorite city, Hickory, North Carolina. Again, be sure to check us out on The Mesh and on iTunes. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to leave us a voicemail about how awesome we are and how amazing the city is, you can call 828-619-0048. Leave us a message. Find us at www.themesh.tv or email us at info@themesh.tv. Say
Call
goodbye,
Moose with any
guys.
complaints.
We love you, Hickory Nuts.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.